Welcome to a segment of Learn from Leaderonomers, and today I have with me David Wong, the Area Vice President of Tupperware Southeast Asia and also the MD for Malaysia. David, welcome to the show.
Okay, thank you.
Great to have you on our show.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your background, because you have, you were chartered accountant, I think, and then you moved on to basically run Tupperware today. Tell us a bit about your, how that came about and how you ultimately ended up as the MD of Tupperware.
Well, I was, like you said, I was a chartered accountant, and then I joined Tupperware. They headhunted me to be a financial controller, and I soon found that my job description and my motivated gifts and abilities were quite different.
Okay.
And before long, I moved into general management.
Many people, many CFOs or many finance leaders want to transition into general management, but they find that a hard transition to do. How did you transition, and what are some lessons from that?
Okay. When we talk about Tupperware, most people think of Tupperware as the product because of our brand equity.
Yes.
We are world-class. We have world-class product. We have world-class brand, and we operate in more than 100 countries in the world. And so they associate us with the product. But Tupperware really is about people. We have a sales force of, on paper we have 250,000 people involved with us, and any point in time about 14 to 15,000 are involved with us, actively involved every week with us. So Tupperware is really a people business. And that really suits my personality. From school, I was always a leader of this club or that club, president of this club. And so it's a perfect platform for my gifts and my calling.
Okay, so you had kind of the personality to deal with people.
Right.
And did the technical ability that you have being a chartered accountant help?
Well, most of success in business is really about people and a soft skill rather than the technical hard skill.
A lot of finance, a lot of CEOs actually come from finance background. Is that is a good asset to have?
The finance background give you a very solid background because business is about numbers, about growing market share, about profit and loss. But I see business beyond the bottom line. So if you develop people, the people will develop the business.
Tell us a bit about Tupperware and some of the challenges you face in growing Tupperware to where it is today.
When I first joined Tupperware, we were very small. We were about 10 million in revenue, and in fact, the company were wanted to close it down.
Wow. Okay.
And then we did a number of innovation that really brought us to where we are. Last year, we ended up about 330 million in retail sales.
So you've grown them 33 times.
Right. Yeah.
What are some of the innovations?
Well, we started out by importing products from overseas.
Okay.
And then there was tremendous high duties. And then we started local manufacturing, and we grow the sales force, and we're continuing reinventing the company every 5-6 years.
Tell us about one of those reinventions.
Well, like in recently 2007, we introduced, we changed our business model from a single level model to a multi-tiered model, where it enables people to self-promote themselves and grow leaders below them. So the organization that grow leaders grow the sales.
I see.
And then we compensate them accordingly. So we begin to attract the people. So there's a changing phase of Tupperware.
That happened in 2007, so recently?
Yes, just the last 5 years. Historically, we were very strong among the Malay market and probably in the rural market. Over the last 5-6 years, as a result of this change of the business model, we begin to attract more Chinese. Historically, our business was more with housewives, and now we have quite a lot of young professionals with us. We have a senior lecturer from university who resigned full-time to go full-time with Tupperware. We have a bank manager who resigned from her job and moved to her hometown in Terengganu to start a business. And she said, I used to count the bank's money, now I count my own money.
It's interesting, this evolution of the Tupperware model, but is there some lesson that we can derive for other young entrepreneurs to take off the Tupperware model?
Well, business is a dynamic thing, And historically, the people who have big farms are the ones who make money. Then they go to manufacturing where productivity grows up, and then that's where you make the big money. Then later on, you have distribution with Sam Warden who comes with Walmart, and where distribution is where the big money is. So Tupperware, in a sense, is a channel of distribution. But basically, Tupperware is direct selling. Network marketing. We just bypass the middleman and bring the goods and match resources with needs, and provide the delivery as well as the education. So when people come to a Tupperware party or to a Tupperware gathering, we not only deliver the goods to them, but we also provide education on how the benefits and the use of the products. There's a simply good living solution for them.
There's kind of a bad connotation with direct selling in many ways, but Tupperware has somehow does not have that kind of a bad connotation associated with it. Is there something that Tupperware did that the others are not doing?
I think that's because we have a real product to sell and a real opportunity to sell. I think in the early years, the multi-level industry have a bad name because people are trying to recruit others, get rich quick scheme,
with no real
products to sell. Yeah,
okay.
But we have a trusted brand. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your leadership. How have you evolved as a leader, and what are some lessons you've learned along the way in terms of your leadership and your take on leadership?
Yeah, I think leadership is, like you say, is an evolving thing. I became the managing director of Tupperware Malaysia, and then I took on regional roles, and then added to my portfolio with Singapore and Indonesia, Thailand, Taiwan, and Philippines, and so forth. It's an evolving thing. But the way I look at leadership, my philosophy of framework leadership is, I believe a leader is first of all a steward. He's a steward of the mission or the vision of the company. A leader brings a vision, faith, and courage to the business. Vision to see the opportunities and what needs to be done, and then the faith to believe that it can be done, and then the courage to persevere until it gets done.
Okay. What was the hardest thing, when it comes to leadership, the hardest circumstance or the hardest challenge you faced?
One of the greatest challenge I faced was when I took over the leadership of Tupperware Indonesia. They were making losses, and my chairman gave me 2 years to turn around.
Okay.
And then they have 5 distributors in Indonesia, and they wanted to monopolize the whole country. So I have to exert steward leadership to grow that business. And then we, in 2 years, we turned around and from 5 distributors to 27 distributors, and we make profit.
Wow.
Last year, Indonesia is a poor country, but last year Indonesia was the #1 contributor in terms of sales and profit in the whole of Tupperware world.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So from nothing to #1.
Yes.
Is there a formula in there? Is there some secret that I know it's about people, but is there anything else? A lot of people talk about turnaround,
Right.
but you've lived it and you've actually done it and you've succeeded. Is there some lesson or something that we can draw from there?
Well, besides stewardship of the vision, the second important element of leadership is being a shepherd of people. Obviously, a leader can cast a vision, but you need a team to make this vision become a reality. So your team is very important. Bringing the right people into the team is very important, so shepherding the people, and as the people grow, their growth fuel the growth of the company and the business. We have a saying in Tupperware: "Say, build the people, and the people will build the business." So we recruit people, and then we coach them, we mentor them, and we develop them, and they are the one who really grow the business for us.
You use the word shepherding. Most leaders use very different words to describe how to manage their people. You got to be the boss, but shepherding has a very interesting connotation. Tell us a bit about shepherding and why shepherding the people and not lording over their people or not managing people.
Well, that leads me to the next point about being a servant. A servant leadership. I think Jim Collins in his book, he identified what are the elements that bring a company from good to great, and the #1 key that he mentioned was L5 leadership. Okay. He didn't use the word servant leadership, but L5, basically servant leadership. So we are servant of God, and then servant of people. Why that's important? I think there's two things. One is, much of life is unpredictable and uncontrollable. It's good to say on hindsight, I implemented this strategy or came out with that program that really grow the business. But much of life is beyond our control, and therefore we need to have divine intervention, for us to really grow. And the second thing is when you are a servant of God, it keeps you humble. In the book of Proverbs say the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. When you fear God, you keep you humble and you're continually growing.
Okay, so humility is definitely a key point.
So the foundation of leadership is being a servant of God. Then you shepherd the people. And then when you're a servant of God, you shepherd people. You treat your people with respect, with dignity, and then you bring out the best in them, and they in turn fuel the growth of the company. Okay. And then when you build the trust and respect and shepherd them, and they grow, and their interests are taken care of, they will give their very best towards the accomplishment of the vision.
Interesting. Final questions. There are many young people that are graduating today and coming out into the workspace. What advice would you give them? As they're starting up their career.
think most young college students, most graduates, I would say, when they are about to graduate, they say, I want to make a difference in the world. I really want to do something, leave a legacy.
Yep.
That's when they're in their 20s. And when they're in their 30s, you ask them the same question, they will say that, I'm working hard in order to provide better living standards for my family.
Yep.
So the economy that provide for the income is now influencing their values, and it's changed from being a contributor to make a difference to being a consumer of their income. So they need to get back to that cause, that thing that drives them. If they have a vision of a cause that surpasses money, I think you'll bring the best out of them.
Okay, so always look for that cause, look for the purpose,
Right.
look for, and ultimately if you do that, then you'll
A
find
greater purpose and meaning beyond money. Yeah.
I've been talking to David Wong, Area Vice President of Tupperware, Southeast Asia. David, thank you for being on our show, and thanks for your nuggets of wisdom.
Thank you.